Hello everyone, GameDog here, and welcome back to Let's Play Stick Ranger. Now, last episode we completed the first level. This time, I want to start out by simply just coughing up some money and buying the next weapon for the Gladiator, because I really don't feel like going through again. I mean, I probably could, but honestly, this early on, I really don't want to do off-screen grinding and things of that like. So now we got the Iron Sword. We're going to equip to the Gladiator, and that's going to increase his attack by, that's going to increase his attack power. So with this one, it's like 1 to 5. With this, it's like 5 to 10. It's an upgrade. Now, something else kind of interesting worth noting is, as you can see here, we have this X right here in one of our slots below the weapon. It also says like NG up here. I'm assuming that stands for like no good or something. What this pretty much means is, while every single weapon you find from enemies, you can equip 2 compo items to. Items you buy from the shop, you can only equip 1 to. And I'm assuming that's kind of incentivize you to not buy weapons from the shop all the time, because that's a problem. Like, honestly, and if I was playing, I probably would if I was playing alone, I probably would go through Opening Street again and just get that weapon. I still think it drops in the blue, guys. I'm going to have to check that later. We actually can, actually. And not just for the wiki, not just from the wiki either, because this game actually does have a very in-depth wiki. So, regardless, though, we're actually starting off Grassland 1 here, and we're starting to, and we're going to be finding a new kind of enemy. These guys are called hoppers, I think, or jumpers, something like that. Basically, they jump around like those enemies from Light Crusader or something, and whenever they get close to us, they shoot a little like web or something that does damage to us. They're kind of annoying. And of course, with new enemies comes even more enemies. We're going to be introduced to these gray ones too, which are very similar. They're just more powerful. I think they have a bit more health too, and they also have different drops. Now, something interesting about this game is just about every single enemy in the whole entire game has a very unique drop. It can actually, has a very unique item it can drop. And it's even like 1 or 2 items sometimes too, which is very neat. I'm gonna increase my stats real quick. So it's really it induces this really weird feeling in which you want to know like what drops which. And there is actually a way. This game actually does have sort of a bestiary, which is like a gaming term for like a place where you can find stats on various enemies and things like that. You find these stats on by the level. We'll get into that later though. That's a bit more advanced. Not advanced, but like I don't even have enough money to buy it for the first one yet, because you have to buy them too. Oh my goodness, another rare item. That is the red crystal. Increases the attack by 1 to 3. And of course we got another weapon for a class we don't even have right now. That is a poison. Yeah, it's a poison arrow for the sniper right there. This item kind of has a magic meter similar to the stone whipper has right now. Only this one on the shot that actually on the shot that actually induces the magic attack, it poisons an enemy instead of just does something special. There are a lot of magic weapons that do things like that. In fact, that's actually how you'll most likely going to be getting status ailments in this game, because this game, like a lot of RPGs, does have status ailments. It's not as deep as some RPGs. I mean, there's really only like 4, and oh my goodness, these guys are the exact same as this, only they shoot like 3 instead. Like, honestly, he probably could have like 4-shot this thing, given all 4 of those blasts would have hit, and which they did because he was so close to him. Now, if there's one thing I do recommend for this game, and the game actually does I want to drag the Gladiator over that so you'd pick that on Jerry Ball up. One thing I do recommend for this game is that if you're gonna have a melee character, try to give him as much health as possible. For the obvious reason that he's going to be tanking most of the hits. Now we actually got a new weapon for the magician right here. This is ice. I actually don't like this. Our gladiator is actually going to die right here. Oh, no, he didn't? All right, I'm actually going to... Oh, no, it's the whipper who was low on health, huh? Now, I'm actually going to equip him with this real quick. I'm going to equip it... I'm going to unequip it right off, though, because I actually don't like this weapon. What it does is... It works similarly. However, when it hits an enemy, it slows them down. I'm going to drag these guys over so they'll start attacking. I don't really like this, though, because honestly, I'd much rather... Like, it does less damage overall. It is an upgrade to the first magic, but like honestly, what isn't? Because that weapon is like very pathetic in all honesty. Let's see here. So if we can take these guys out, nope, we're not going to. You know what? I'm gonna retreat from this. I don't really see myself living from that. We did collect 2 things though, and let's see. Let's revive our guys, and then let's actually sell those real quick. I can't really use either of those anyway. Well, I can use one. I just don't really like to do so. We actually had a monetary loss on that run too. Maybe I shouldn't have retreated that quickly. Now I'm going to show you a tactic that I do quite often. As soon as I clear out this floor, this room though, because The next weapon I want for the gladiator, it actually drops in this level, and I think it drops by these enemies too. Again, like, I remember a lot about this game. The specific drop rate of every single enemy in every single level is not one of them, though. I just know, like, I just know, like, what stage you can get what weapon. So now I'm actually going to do something you might see me do quite often in this game. I'm going to skip. I'm going to skip all of these levels, and this is something you can do. I recommend you do this. I'm actually going to take this room out because I like fighting these things because they're easy. They're easy targets, and they give you a lot of experiences this early on. You can actually just flat out skip level. Well, not skip levels. You can just flat out skip screens if you really want to. The only screen you cannot skip, and this for obvious reasons, is the boss. Okay, so now we're in the boss area. Yeah, I can't just drag him over there. I'm actually going to pause the game real quick by pressing spacebar. I'm going to tune auto move on all 4 of these guys to off. Now, what this is going to do is normally the stick rangers would walk towards enemy to attack them, especially the melee range characters. However, I actually don't want to do that for this boss rush because these guys right here are very, very powerful, and there's a lot of them too. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to get swarmed at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to camp over here. I'm going to let the priest. Yeah, I'm gonna let the priest and the magician potshot them until they get close enough for me for my gladiator and my whipper to actually do some damage to them. This is a much smarter way to do this in my opinion, and I do this for a lot of bosses too. It is a legitimate strategy and one that I do recommend you employ if you plan to try a lot of these levels out. And of course, this is a game that I do recommend. Like, I really love this game. It's one of my favorites. I'm trying to pull the magician out of here. Yeah, I'm trying to speed this up a little bit by luring a couple guys over here. Like, normally you can actually just I believe you can actually just like tab out of this game. I'm not sure if it works on this browser or not. Again, one of the reasons why one of the reasons why I haven't played this game in years is because well, it's kind of hard. Well, not hard. All my old files were on my old computer. Well, or as I should say, all the save codes for my old files were all on my old computer, and I can't really retrieve those like at all because honestly that computer is like long gone by now. I probably should have forgotten about it by now, but regardless, this game actually saves. Okay, you need an account on this site in order to save your game, and once you do, I can actually scroll up real quick while my guys are oh my gosh, it's so cool to be able to do this with OBS. Someone taught me how to do this a little bit earlier. You can actually there's this little save game thing up here, and you can't use this code, by the way. It's exclusive to my account, but you get a code right here. You can just cut it somewhere, and then once you paste it back in, you can hit set, and it'll return to and it'll take you to the title screen with the file you have. I'm not going to do that though. I'm actually going to delete this just in case I do that by complete accident. I'm not going to do that because, honestly, we're, like, already halfway done with this boss. Does that window look right? It does to me. All right, well, we're going to just continue on with that then. Let's see. I'm going to pick up that Algier rice ball real quick. And let's see. There's only, like, 5 of these left, which is very nice. Oh, and, of course, another weapon for a guy we don't even have right now. That is the Thunder Glove. Because a lot of the box's weapons actually use the same magic meter mechanics that the Stone Whip does. And so does a weapon for the gladiator that can drop in this level that I do want to get at some point. However, I don't really want to, I don't really want to go out of my way to try and find it because, I don't really want to go out of my way to try and find it because that might take a while. I probably could do it off screen. I mean, you guys probably won't mind that. I mean, I sometimes do things off screen all the time. Let's see here. The gladiator, even with my strategy, the gladiator may still die here. He has 7 health left. One more hit will kill him. That was not the case though. Okay, let's track let's track the magician out and have him actually try to do this to a couple of these guys. I mean, actually, you know what? I'm actually going to turn everyone back on because they should have enough health to actually tank them at this point. Now, something else you might notice is that the gladiator is not walking towards these guys anymore. I mean, even if I put him a little bit closer, he will not walk towards enemies like he normally does, and that's because he's almost dead. Let's see. The gimmick. This is a really neat gimmick in my opinion. It really helps you conserve health. Is that if a stick ranger is low on health, they will not approach enemies, and that's to conserve their own health. I do believe they add an option in which you can turn this off. Yes, move if dying. I think if you turn that on, they'll keep doing that. That's a fairly new addition as far as I'm concerned. That was not there when I originally played this game, or it could have been. I just didn't notice. Yes, I really want this red sword. Do I have enough for it? No? Okay. I might just buy items from the shop. I don't like doing that. But I'm willing to if I don't really feel like going out of my way to find it. And honestly, I don't want to look anything up on the wiki either because are you off? Okay, you should be off. I don't really want to look up anything on the wiki either. Because that might spoil some of the later levels, and that's one of the reasons why I want to why I wanted to return this, because I think it'd be kind of neat to see some live reactions of some of the later levels. Because back when I did do Damble updates weekly, I almost said daily for whatever reason, I do feel those are some of my more interesting videos when I just play through a level for the very first time. And as soon as we get more to unfamiliar territory in this game, you guys are going to get like 5 or 6 episodes of that nonstop. Now, what I'm actually doing right now is I'm grinding. I said I don't like to grind on screen, but I'm gonna do it this once, just to show it off, to show off like what I like to do. Now what we have here is we have these big walker enemies. This is a level called Hill Country. Now we actually had we had the opportunity to go to Grassland 2. However, I wanted to come here first because this may be this is probably my favorite early grinding spot in the game. You can rack up a lot of levels just by sitting here and killing these really tanky monsters right here. And I only recommend that if you have long range characters to only turn them on, because I'm gonna drag them right in front of me real quick. They do like 12 damage each. That's a lot for this point in the game. And I don't really want to be taking that kind of damage this early on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play it safe. It's gonna take a lot longer, but I'm gonna have both of my range fighters just fight these guys real quick, and then I might do a lot of this off screen too, because I did do that in my original Let's Play as well. It's a legitimate strategy, and there's like 3 or 4 levels in the game that are just really good just for doing this. And like I said before, you can like tab off the game and it'll still run, which is very nice if for when you do this, do this kind of thing. So this should be almost done here. I'm actually just gonna kill this guy and then move on a little bit. I just wanted to show off this grinding spot because it's nice. It's nice to keep this kind of thing in mind. Yeah, because if you look at how much experience we get here, like honestly, that's like a full 10 experience. You can easily sit here for like a couple 10 minutes and just like kill all these enemies and be done with it. I'm actually gonna kill these 2 guys up here real quick, and then I think I'm gonna move on. Oh, and these guys also drop. It's rare, but they also drop an item that's also worth a lot too, which is really neat. Oh, perfect. Got one of those. Let's eat our jury ball in the air and let's escape. Let's go back here real quick and get our health back. Let's see. Yeah, we're only missing 3 health. The amount that it actually charges is 1 for 1 for how much health you're actually missing, which is very nice to keep in mind. Because yeah, it's very nice to keep in mind because it is a very nice stat to get to know basically. And now we're actually going to move on to Grassland 2. Now, Grassland 2 is a level I don't really like too much. It may be okay. The thing of most RPGs for me is that just about every single RPG I've ever played always has that one level very early on, or one section very early on, that's very difficult by the simple fact that you don't have much on you. For most cases, it's because like you don't have ample like abilities to heal yourself real quick, like in some of the Kingdom Hearts games, for example. In this game, though, it's because the boss of this level is flying, and my only ranged attacks right now are both very weak and a little bit hard to aim. Well, not hard to aim, but like hard to consistently hit with because it goes in a straight line, doesn't home. And there are ways to fix that later, which is really cool as well. We don't have access to those though. So you really need to. Oh my gosh, we actually got another crystal right here. You know what? I'm gonna equip that to someone. I'm gonna equip that to the Whipper. So every single 10, yeah. So now we have a 10% chance to block. I actually don't really use block crystals that often, or black crystals that often. I believe what this actually does is like every single time an enemy hits you now, you have like a 1 in 10 chance of actually just not taking damage, which is really useful. Especially for some of the later ones in the game. Oh, and the number for like the damage is like pink too, I believe, which is yeah, right there. I did 0 damage because he blocked it. He blocked it with a whip, which I didn't think you could do. Let's see. Let's actually have a Gladiator taking a lot of damage, but that's kind of his point. And we do have some new these X-Walkers, I think they're called. I like to call them the Crab Walkers for whatever reason. I know they don't look like crabs. They just do to me for whatever reason. We're going to take these guys out. I'm actually going to drag him right into it so it doesn't take damage walking over to him. I'm going to camp my my Magician up here. Oh, never mind. My reasoning is because like he can't shoot through walls. So it's usually just a better idea to try and position him, and that's kind of where the meta of dragging your rangers around comes into play. I'm actually going to skip all these levels, given that we don't actually find a new enemy. Oh, we are here. You know, looking through some of my older Let's Plays of this game, one big problem I've always had with my old play is that sometimes I just skip a whole level. And that's kind of boring. That's kind of boring for you to watch. I mean, you don't get to see the enemies. It's kind of annoying in all honesty. So one rule I want to keep in mind whenever when I let's play this game now, is every single time is that oh, they shoot like 3 shots every single time. If I do want to skip level, I will, under the exception that I don't find a new enemy on that screen. So we fought that enemy now, so if I find any more, I'm probably just gonna skip him. Let's take this little bat out right here. There we go. We got a fire glove, another weapon for the boxer. Oh, this one's cool. When its magic meter fills up, he like fires a he fires like a wave of fire at the enemy, which is kind of neat. Okay, so now we're on the boss here. I just skipped to it. I'm actually gonna drag over here so you can take these guys out. We have these two, yeah. We have these two. Oh, what I do? Oh, that's a new weapon for the gladiator. You know what? Even if I die here, I'm gonna pick that up. Let's see, and I'm gonna equip. Actually, I'll equip it later. We can deal with that later. Okay, so now we get to one of the more boring parts of the game. Occasionally, when you fight enemies, they'll be way more powerful, even if you are over-leveled. And not like we're over-leveled, but we're certainly not under-leveled. I say we're playing this at a fairly decent pace. I just killed two guys with one fireball attack, which honestly, despite that is kind of the gimmick of this weapon, that does not happen often. I'm actually going to turn the movement on this guy off so he doesn't walk towards the guy, because control is the name of the game now. I need to be able to position him in just a way that he will consistently attack enemies, however, not take damage. And get used to this, by the way, because this does happen for a surprising amount of the game, basically. Okay, now this may be one of my least favorite bosses in the game, as I have mentioned, because he flies, and his attacks are very deadly as well. Each of those do like 5 damage, I think, and kind of like with the first boss, if you're standing right next to him, like 5 of those are going to hit you at once, and that can like 4-shot you very easily. Which makes this a very bad boss for melee characters, and sometimes I do like to challenge myself when I play games like this, so I'll like give myself like an all-melee team. Don't do that, by the way. For your own health, do not attempt that. That's a rage quit waiting to happen right there. And if that is the case, unless this guy hovers towards the ground a lot, which he actually is doing a lot in this run, I probably could have killed him if I was vigilant about reviving the gladiator. Unless that happens a lot, and I do mean a lot, most of your battles are most likely going to result in this, in which you just drag him back and forth. In which you just drag your ranger back and forth, waiting for an opening, just move them when they attack. And this does get boring, but you have to do what you gotta do sometimes. And this is like the only way to beat this guy. Like, you can't bum rush half these bosses, in my opinion. Or I can say this from experience. I mean, I do have like 5 years of experience in this game. It is one of my favorites of all time. After all, oh my goodness, how many times am I gonna say that? I mean, it's true. And if you love the game, you better show it off too, because honestly, I really like this game, and I want to show it to the world. I want everyone to play this because it's so fun. Let's see here. I mean, this game is really fun to find too. If you are interested in this game, just look up like Stick Ranger. It should be the first thing you find. You might find the wiki first, but honestly, if you're really dedicated, you might have that open anyway. Just because honestly, there's a lot you need to memorize. Well, not memorize. There's a lot you should know before you What am I trying to say here? Like, there's a lot to learn about this game. It's kind of got that Minecraft thing in which you could eventually learn all on your own. It's just sometimes funner and more convenient to just look it up, though. Let's see. I actually killed him then. All right, let's eat this on Jerry Ball, so you have to pay less at the end. Raise our stats, and then let's move on. That actually went a lot quicker than I thought it would. Let's go back to the town real quick, revive everyone, and then let's equip the Thunder Sword, because that's a really cool name for a weapon. Let's equip it to the Gladiator. So now he has a magic weapon, which I really, really like. And it also is not bought from the shop, which means I'm going to have that second combo slot. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm gonna try and make some good use of it, though. Though this is not a weapon I like to keep late game, as you'd probably imagine by anything we get this early on. So I'm gonna increase my stats here. I'm gonna have to heal up again real quick, because increasing your stats does raise your overall health, even if you don't raise your overall health. So that was actually a very good run. We completed a couple other levels, and we actually opened up a lot more to do in the next episode. So there we go. Thanks for watching.